Welcome to Unix Academy. This is Jyoti. In this video, I am going to show you OS as a resource manager. OS as a resource manager, it contains some functions. Those functions I am explaining in this video. Those functions are process management, process scheduling, memory management, and I/O management. When multiple programs are run interlaced with each other, so as to improve overall efficiency of the computer. Multi-programming improves the overall efficiency of the computer system by getting more work done in less time, as the CPU may be shared among a number of active programs which are present in the memory at the same time. And this when multiple processes are running simultaneously, it is important to manage them. For this purpose, OS provides the following functions. So those are for process management, process scheduling, memory management, and I/O management. Now you can see what is a process management. When a program needs to be executed, it approaches OS. The process scheduler of the OS loads it into memory and it becomes a process which is executed as per its instructions. As soon the processor or CPU is assigned to it, a process is given some memory for each of the following sections for its proper execution. Those following sections are compiled code, global variables, function calls, and local variables, stack area, that is called stack area, and memory for dynamic memory allocation. These are resources. When a program is ready to be executed, it is loaded in memory, that is in start state. We can see in diagram. Here is a diagram. The states of process. When a program is ready to be executed, it is loaded in memory, that is called start, and it becomes an active process. An active process passes through different states. Those states are start state. Start, the initial state of the process in this start state. Next state, ready state. When the process is ready, after wait, running. Then third one is running state. Process being executed by the CPU. In the waiting state, the process waiting for some resources, whatever I told just few minutes back. Those resources are compiled code, global variables, functions, and local variables, addresses, arguments. These are resources. It will wait for those resources. Then last one is terminator or exit. The process is over here. How CPU executes the instructions of a ready process. Here one more diagram is there. Next diagram. Here how CPU runs the instructions of a loaded process. CPU runs the process instructions by instructions. CPU executes the instructions of a process by fetching it and decoding it and then executing it. Now let us understand this. Program is loaded in main memory. Control unit brings first or next instruction of the program. Fetch the instruction. Here you are looking point 1 fetch on the control unit. Control unit now determines what type of instruction is this. Here we will say decode. the second point is decode of the control unit. Decode the instruction that it is, whether it requires any mathematical work or any logical work, simply read from memory or input device, or write to memory or output device, etc. Then if the instruction involves mathematical or logical work, control unit instructs arithmetic logic unit, that is called in short form ALU, to carry out or execute the instruction. This is called the execute the instruction. Then ALU produces some results which are then stored in the main memory. This is called store the result. For the next instruction in the program, it will again go to fetch, decode and execute, store. This cycle is running instruction by instruction. Whatever instructions is coming to the CPU, the cycling process will rotating on. Next one is process scheduling by OS. Multiple programs can be loaded simultaneously in computer memory for execution. In such a case, it is very important to manage these processes so as to determine those are which process will get the CPU time, which process has to be removed from CPU, which process has to be shifted for IO, what is to be in case interrupt occurs. Here interrupt is a signal generated by hardware or software to the CPU, indicating a high priority event that needs immediate attention. In case of an interrupt, the CPU has to interrupt the current running process and handle the interrupt first of all. That is called a higher priority. This is the interrupt. All this is the job of process scheduler of operating system. The process scheduling is the activity of the process manager that handles the removal of the running process from the CPU and the selection of another process on the basis of a particular strategy. There are three strategies is there: FCFS, round robin scheduling, and shortest job next. The first one is FCFS, means full form is first come first served. The process entering first in the queue gets the CPU first. Second one is round robin scheduling. Every process is given some fixed amount of time on CPU called a time slice, say n milliseconds. If the process is over during that time, process is terminated. Otherwise, its state is changed to waiting, and the next ready process is given the CPU time for designated amount of time. Then next one is the shortest job next. CPU picks the next job that will take shortest time out of all ready processes and many more. These three strategies will use the process scheduler. Then next one is memory management. Memory management, allocating memory to various processes and resources, is called the memory management. Memory management is a part of operating system, is another very important part, as everything which is being processed has to be loaded in memory. Those memory manager performs some functions, keeps track of each and every memory location regardless of either it is allocated to some process or it is free. Checks how much memory is to be allocated to processes and how it is be allocated. decides which process will get memory at what time, keeps track of whenever some memory gets freed or unallocated, and correspondingly it updates the available memory, allocated memory, etc. Ensures the safety and security of data in the memory allocated to the process so that other running processes do not get hold of this data. The memory manager allocates memory to processes to load their data and files, etc. using different strategies like continuous memory allocation or non-continuous memory allocation or virtual memory allocation, etc. And other some memory management techniques also is available. Those are single memory allocation, partitioned allocation, paged memory allocation, segment memory management. Those are not needed deeply for the purpose of Python. That is enough. Next one is virtual memory. Another important task is virtual memory of OS. OS is virtual memory management. Virtual memory is used when the RAM is full and still the OS requires more memory to execute programs. Virtual memory is also used using paging or segmentation. Those techniques. Since virtual memory is an important concept, those are RAM has billions of memory allocations, but sometimes even that is not enough room for all the data the CPU needs. When RAM gets too full, the computer's operating system uses some area of the hard disk as a virtual memory. This is called virtual RAM. To use virtual memory, the OS temporarily marks sections of loaded data in RAM which are less required compared to other loaded sections. These sections are then shifted to virtual memory and RAM is freed. When these virtual memory pages are required, OS loads them again in RAM by swapping some other less required section of RAM. I am having one more diagram here. This is the virtual memory diagram. Virtual memory is also is some area on the hard disk which is used like RAM and holds the data CPU does not need immediately. But both Windows and Linux supports virtual memory. Virtual memory also violate like RAM. If the computer is turned off, the operating system loses track of what was kept where in virtual memory. The data is lost. But even though the CPU can directly access virtual memory, it is slow and the CPU needs data held in virtual memory. It asks the operating system to first load it into the memory, which is quick to access. Next one is IO management. Whenever a process requires some input output, the input output management part of OS takes over. The role of input output manager of operating system is to connect the process to actual input output device through some strategy. There are multiple strategies followed by IO manager, which we are not covering in the Python. But just we have to know what are the functions of relating to OS. So I am giving the IO management also here as a function. That is about the IO management. IO manager sends the input output request to the physical device, and upon receiving a response from the device, it passes the received response to the process. During the time a process is with input output manager, the CPU keeps on working with other ready processors. These are the functions of OS operating system. It will involved when we get the mission data or mission code or binary code, it will execute in system. In between, this works will happens inside of the operating system. These are the system mechanisms. There is no manual interaction. This will automatically system will do everything. RAM, CPU, IO management, memory management. What is virtual management? Some virtual management we have to decide some area on the hard disk. Those works will do other persons and not Python persons. This is enough to Python to learn. Subscribe my channel for further videos if you are looking first time. Then thanks for watching.